Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to start with class 11th. First, we'll like to discuss the syllabus of physics and then we'll move forward. Okay? So, welcome to class 11th, everyone. The very first chapter of class 11th is Physical World, which is non-evaluated. Okay, non-evaluative means this is not going to come up in the exam. So no question is not going to come up in the exam. But this chapter, that is Physical World, is going to give you a small glimpse of what you are going to study in these 2 years. As you must have decided that you have to take science and you have some idea about what the science is all about, what the physics is all about. And by learning with this chapter, we will give you the glimpse what all we are going to teach you in these 2 years and what your journey will be with the physics. So physical world. What is a physical world? Huh? What is a physical world? Physics is something which is a study of nature. Hai? So physical world is a study of nature or nature around me. Physics is something which is always about what it is. It is always about questioning why the sun is lightening, why the stars are there, why the fan is moving, and from where does the electricity turn out. So all these phenomena, which are naturally occurring into the nature, how they are occurring, why they are occurring, is all about physics. So physics is basically one of the branch of science. What is a science? You must have studied about science, na? Science, that word. We started teaching you science since you are in class 1. है ना? Class 1 say we goes with the environmental studies and then we teach you about science. Science is something which is a scientific study. है ना? A systematically scientific study of various phenomena with a systematic pattern. है ना? What is a systematic pattern? You go with an observation. What is an observation? You observe that there is a light on the sun. And the sun is bright. So that is my observation. With those observations, you do certain experiments. With certain experiments, you get into with certain observations, and with those observations, you do certain calculations, and with those calculations, you come up to certain conclusion. So it is all systematic. It is all planned. And it is all step by step, one by one. So first, we observe the phenomena. We can observe any phenomena. है ना? हम कोई भी phenomena observe कर सकते हैं. We can observe the phenomena. Let's take a phenomena. The fan is revolving. This is my observation. This is my first observation. So this is first I observe that the fan is revolving. Then I do the experiment. I keep on changing the knob of the fan to increase its speed and to decrease the speed. So that is the experiment that needs to be done. With the experiment, you have a certain observation. By moving that knob, you are changing something. What are you changing? You are changing the capacitance. That you'll come to know later on in class 12. But right now, you get to that observations. And with those observations, you do certain calculations. What is the RPM of it? With how much rotation per minute is the fan revolving? And with all those things you observe. Then with the observations, you have the calculations and you come to the conclusion because the electricity is coming to the fan, which is making this fan to revolve. So science is basically a systematic study of the phenomena. It could be natural phenomena. If the phenomena are natural phenomena, the study will be turned out to be physics. So we are going to study about various physical phenomena. We'll be dealing with certain kind of variables, and with those variables you'll come to know about mechanics and so on. So I would like to classify physics first with various branches. So I know what is my physics. It's a study of physical world. Things around me, मेरे आस पास जितनी चीजें हैं, I am going to study about them. Now physics is broadly being classified into various branches. We will just have a brief outlook of each branch because I already told you this chapter is non-evaluative, है ना? ये chapter आपके एग्जाम में नहीं आने वाला है, but इससे एक छोटा छोटा glimpse आपको लगेगा कि physics में आप क्या करने वाले हैं. In the NCERT, this is chapter number 1. You can just go through with that chapter. एक बार उसको जा करके देखिए. Just read that chapter. I know the chapter, once you'll go through with the NCERT chapter 1, you feel like many terms are there which I'm not able to understand. बहुत सारी ऐसी टर्म्स आएंगी, बहुत सारे ऐसे वर्ड्स आएंगे विच यू फील लाइक आई एम रीडिंग इट फर्स्ट टाइम. Yes, you are reading it first time, that is completely okay. But you will actually realize the beauty of physics in this chapter. So you must go through with this chapter. एक बार इसको जरूर ऊपर ऊपर से ही पढ़िए, बट हाँ पढ़िए. बट ये नॉन इवैल्यूएटिव है, एग्जाम में नहीं आएगा, बट आपको एक थोड़ा सा ग्लिम्स लगेगा कि फिजिक्स में आपको हम इन 2 सालों में क्या कराने वाले हैं. So moving to the branches, one by one I'll write them and will introduce you. सबसे पहले classical physics. Okay, classical physics. I can also name it as Newtonian physics. I know you must not have heard it before, ना. Till class 10th हम ये सारी चीजें आपको इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं कराते, कभी भी नहीं पढ़ाते. क्लासिकल फिजिक्स क्या है? क्लासिकली न्यूटोनियन फिजिक्स, वेरी प्रिमिटिव वन या वेरी इनिशियल वन, जो फिजिक्स आप पढ़ते आए हैं अभी तक हमने आपको जो भी फिजिक्स पढ़ाई, दैट इज न्यूटोनियन फिजिक्स. उसको हम क्लासिकल फिजिक्स कहते हैं, विच इज बेस्ड ऑन न्यूटन के लॉज. यू नो अबाउट द न्यूटन के लॉज, न्यूटन फर्स्ट लॉ, सेकेंड लॉ, थर्ड लॉ. व्हाट इज न्यूटन फर्स्ट लॉ सेज? न्यूटन फर्स्ट लॉ सेज something at rest will remain at rest, something in motion will remain in motion until and unless an external force is applied, right? So वो जो मेरे 3 न्यूटन के लॉज हैं और जो क्लासिकली मेरे लॉज हैं जिनके ऊपर बेस्ड मेरी मैकेनिक्स रहेगी, वो क्लासिकल मैकेनिक्स होगी. और 11th क्लास में स्टार्टिंग विद द चैप्टर नंबर 1 till we reach to chapter number 6 we will going to study only the classical mechanics. ठीक है, हम मैकेनिक्स ही पढ़ेंगे. We'll go with the mechanics, motion in 1D, motion in 2D, then we'll study about force and laws of motion, then we'll study about work power energy, then we'll study about rotational motion. So all these things comes under classical physics. Now the basic law that governs the classical physics is important for us to know. In classical physics, every object is considered to be a point object. Now, how will you consider that object to be a point object? Every object is considered to be a point object. Now, listen, let's take an example, okay? A train is going from Delhi to Jaipur at a speed of, okay, let's take the speed to be 120 km per hour. A train is going from Delhi to Jaipur at a speed of 120 km per hour. Now, it reaches from Delhi to Jaipur in approximately, we can take it over 2 hours. It reaches there at 2 hours. Now, do you take it that the first compartment reaches at 2 hours and the last compartment reaches at 2 hours and 1 minute? No, we consider the whole train as a point object. Now, how would I consider the train to be a point object? Because the distance traveled by my train is much larger than the length of my train. So, the train could be considered as a point object. Similarly, a car is going from Delhi to anywhere you can take. Is going from Delhi to Gurgaon at a speed of 80 km per hour. Do you basically think it as कि उसके rear tires कैसे जा रहे हैं और back tires किस time पे जा रहे हैं? No, we consider this whole car as a point object because the distance being covered by my car is much larger than the dimensions of my car. So whenever the dimensions of my object is much smaller than the distance it traveled or the motion it traveled, is the object would be considered as point object. And this is the basic law for the classical physics. इसी के ऊपर based मेरी पूरी की पूरी Newtonian physics है. And the Newtonian physics is applicable for all those objects whose dimensions are measurable. Measurable in the sense whose dimensions are not much larger and not much smaller, है ना, जिनकी dimensions ना तो बहुत ज्यादा बड़ी हो. बहुत ज्यादा बड़ी is a relative quantity actually, है ना. बहुत ज्यादा बड़ी किसी चीज को बोलना है, बहुत ज्यादा छोटी किसी चीज को बोलना is always a relative quantity ना. किसी भी चीज को आप उस तरीके से define नहीं कर पाओगे. But yes, if the dimensions are lesser than the dimensions of the earth, तो हम उसको छोटी मानते हैं. Dimensions of the earth is we are taking the radius of the earth. And if the dimensions are taken to be bigger than the dimensions of the atom, this classical physics is applicable. So what I am talking about, whenever the dimension, let's consider I define my dimension as r. This r is greater than size of atom, and this r should be less than radius of earth. तो जब तक इस डायमेंशंस में मेरी डायमेंशंस रहेगी या मेरा मोशन रहेगा, तब तक मेरी क्लासिकल फिजिक्स वैलिड होगी. इज इट क्लियर? है ना? तब तक मेरी क्लासिकल फिजिक्स एप्लीकेबल होगी. सो क्लासिकल फिजिक्स के लिए मैंने आपको दो चीजें बताई. जब भी क्लासिकल फिजिक्स लगेगी तो वो दो चीजों को ध्यान में रखेगी. पहला, ऑब्जेक्ट नीड टू बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट, क्योंकि ऑब्जेक्ट जो डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल कर रहा है वो बहुत बड़ा है एज कंपेयर टू दी dimensions of my object, right? And the second concept that comes up with the classical physics is कि ऑब्जेक्ट या जो भी मोशन है that should be either greater than the size of atom. इस डायमेंशंस में नहीं आना चाहिए. साइज ऑफ एटम से बड़ा हो. एटम का साइज क्या होता है? द साइज ऑफ द एटम इज 10 to the power -10 meter, which is normally written as 1 angstrom. 1 angstrom, ये आगे कराएंगे हम आपको as we move with the chapter units and dimension. There I'll introduce what is an angstrom, what is a nanometer, what is a picometer. ठीक है, we'll have a units of length ना. हम लेंथ की स्मॉलर यूनिट्स भी करेंगे, माइक्रोस्कोपिक यूनिट्स भी करेंगे और मैक्रोस्कोपिक भी. सो इट शुड नॉट बी माइक्रोस्कोपिक. आपके जो डायमेंशंस है वो माइक्रोस्कोपिक डायमेंशंस नहीं होनी चाहिए, और मैक्रोस्कोपिक में कम से कम एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल ऑब्जेक्ट्स वाली डायमेंशंस नहीं होनी चाहिए, बिकॉज आई कंसिडर द रेडियस ऑफ द अर्थ. सो दिस शुड बी मैक्रोस्कोपिक बट शुड नॉट रीचेस टू द एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल डायमेंशंस, है ना. वहां तक नहीं पहुंचे तब तक मेरी क्लासिकल फिजिक्स एप्लीकेबल होगी. सो आफ्टर क्लासिकल फिजिक्स, लेट मी जस्ट गो टू द अनदर ब्रांच which is far more interesting than the classical one, is quantum. Okay, it's a very big term to introduce, and that too at this level when you don't know about anything is little difficult. So would be giving you very lame terms मुझे देनी पड़ेंगी, क्योंकि this is something which is very very broad, and explaining it into these 3 words with a child who just have come up from class 10, उसको समझाने के लिए I will go with this term only कि quantum mechanics is applicable for size of atom. अभी के लिए I will introduce only this thing. I will not go in a detail. This is the most interesting branch of physics, which is quantum physics, but will not introduce much about it because you don't know anything about quantum right now. This is something the most interesting one. It says that you are present here, but it also says that you could also not be present here. So it goes with the probability. Quantum mechanics or quantum physics always goes with the probability. So it deals with size of atom. So whenever my dimensions are comparable to the size of atom, this classical physics failed. This classical physics won't work out whenever the dimensions are comparable to the size of the atom. And there comes the quantum mechanics, which is being given by Einstein, and then the Schrödinger, and so on, Planck, and so on. Everybody contributed to classical physics. Very, very interesting. In chemistry in class 11th, I guess in your chapter number 1, they'll introduce you something about quantum mechanics. They'll introduce about the dual character of waves, and they'll introduce about the dual character of matter. And a particle also have a wave character, and a wave also have a particle character. So they will introduce that. But right now in physics, we'll not go ahead with this. Quantum, we'll discuss basics of quantum in class 12th as we'll move forward. That too in part 2 of physics. So after quantum, let's now talk about another branch. That is, so many branches are there. Like classical could also be classified into many, na? Classical physics में Newtonian physics को mechanics बोलते हैं. Then we also have optics. Optics, which is dealing with the dealing with wave, dealing with light, dealing with ray optics, है ना? So जब आप light के साथ deal करेंगे, waves के साथ deal करेंगे, that will be optics. Then we also have electrodynamics. Electrodynamics है. We have thermodynamics. Thermo is something dealing with heat. Thermal. So whenever we deal with thermal or heat, then we'll have thermodynamics. Then we have astronomical physics also. And many branches are there. So we can write down astronomical physics. Actually, I classified 3 of them on the basis of the dimensions we are dealing. In the astronomical physics, obviously we are dealing with the astronomical heavenly bodies like stars and suns whose dimensions are comparable to the radius of the earth. Radius of the earth is roughly 6400 kilometer. तो जिनकी भी dimensions इसके comparable होंगी, there the astronomical physics will be applicable. है ना? You must have studied about relativity, theory of relativity, special theory of relativity. Have you ever heard about special theory of relativity? What does special theory of relativity says? If something is moving at a speed of light, nothing is constant. Not even its mass, not even its velocity. है ना? अगर कोई भी चीज लाइट की वेलोसिटी से ट्रैवल करती है तो उसका मास भी वेरी करेगा. एंड वी कैन गो टू दी future and we can also go in the past with those time machines and all. So that is all special theory of relativity which is being given by Einstein. So certain physical terms I tried to introduce you. These are the branches of physics which we are going to deal with in these 2 years. Now with these branches we have the various dimensions which I tried to introduce you. That's my physical world. इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा तो आपको नहीं करना है. With the physical world we can also go ahead with the nature of forces. So with this classical, quantum and astronomical, let's now move forward with the nature of forces. Fine. Let's start with the very first one I like to introduce is gravitational force. Gravitational force. Okay, you must have studied the gravitational force in class 9th, है ना? Class 9th में gravitational force कराते हैं. What does the gravitational force says? Two bodies, every body is continuously being attracted towards each other with a force which is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, and the force is given by G m1 m2 by r square, where G is a gravitational constant, universal gravitational constant. It is being called as universal constant, something which is constant for the whole universe. So that's my gravitational force. वो आप सबने 9th class में पढ़ा है. All the massive bodies are continuously being attracted towards each other with this force. This force is very, very weak. है ना? This force is very, very weak as compared to other forces which we are going to study. है ना? So let's get to gravitational force के बाद I have electromagnetic force. Sure. Let's get to the next one. Electromagnetic force. These are the forces between the two charges. Now charges could be at rest, charges could be at motion. So whenever the charges are at rest, the force is termed as electrostatic force. है ना? Whenever the charges are at rest, they would be termed as electrostatic. Charge क्या होता है? You know about charge, na? We studied it in class 10th. Electricity, starting of the chapter. Something which will lose electron will acquire the positive charge. जो भी चीज electron lose करेगी, क्योंकि electrons खुद negatively charge हैं, कोई भी चीज अगर electron lose करती है will always acquire the positive charge, and something which will gain electron will acquire the negative charge. So whenever I have two charges, ठीक है, the charge could be positive or negative. Whenever I have two charges, they will have a force between them. Now this force is always attractive in nature, right? This force is always attractive in nature. Why? With these forces, this could be attractive or repulsive. You know that like charges repel each other, unlike charges attract each other. This force is stronger than the gravitational force. I'm introducing these forces on these terms only. This is the weakest one, then this one will be the strongest one, and then we'll move to the next one जो इनमें से सबसे strong रहेगा. Okay, so gravitational force, electromagnetic force जिसमें electrostatic है, then when the charges are in motion then they'll also have a magnetic field. and then they'll also get attracted towards each other. Good day, everyone. Bye bye. Take care.